Hello, my friends, I'm Sam. Welcome back to Sarvar English, and to the second day of our 14-day English challenge. Today, we are going to explore a question that sounds almost magical. Can we learn while we are asleep? The idea is very attractive. It is very interesting. You play an English lesson beside your bed. Close your eyes and go to sleep. While you are resting, new words enter your brain. In the morning, you wake up with better English. It sounds easy, but the truth is more interesting than a simple yes or no. You need to look at it from 3 different perspectives, viewpoints. First, we need to understand what the brain does during sleep. Second, we need to think about the idea of listening to English while sleeping. And third, we need to see how good sleep can support real learning. Now, let's begin with the brain. When you fall asleep, your brain does not stop working. Your body becomes quiet, but your brain stays active. It continues to manage many important jobs. During the day, your brain receives a large amount of information. You see people, you hear sounds, you read messages, you have conversations, and learn new things. Some of this information is useful, and some of it is not very important. Sleep gives the brain time to organize this information. Imagine that your brain is like a busy office. During the day, papers arrive. The workers are too busy to organize every paper. At night, when the office becomes quiet, they can sort the papers and put important ones in the correct place. Your memories work in a similar way. When you learn a new English word, the memory of that word may be weak. You might remember it for 10 minutes and then forget it. You may recognize it when you read it, but you may not remember it when you try to speak. After you sleep, the memory may become stronger. Sleep helps the brain work with information that you learned while you were awake. It can help the brain keep useful information for a longer time. This is one reason students often perform better after a good night of sleep. They do not learn everything during the night, but sleep helps them keep what they studied before bed. For example, imagine that you learned the word borrow. You learned that it means taking something from another person for a short period of time and giving it back later. You read the word in a sentence, hear its pronunciation, and use it yourself. Later, you go to sleep. While you are sleeping, your brain may strengthen the memory of that word. The next morning, borrow may feel more familiar. You may remember it faster than you did before. However, this does not mean that sleep taught you the word. You first met the word while you were awake. You paid attention to it. You understood it. Then sleep helped your brain keep it. This difference, my friend, is important. Learning usually needs attention. When you are learning something new, you need to notice it and understand it. You may need to connect it to information that you already know. You may also need to use it several times during deep sleep. You are not paying attention in the normal way. You are not thinking carefully about grammar, meaning, or pronunciation. Because of this, it is very difficult to learn a completely new lesson during sleep. Now, let us look at the second perspective. Sleep recordings. There are many videos and audio programs that promise to teach you English while you sleep. Some play long lists of vocabulary. Others repeat sentences for several hours. The idea is that your brain will hear the language all night and remember it. Can this work? Well, in a limited way. Sounds during sleep may sometimes affect memory. However, this is not the same as learning new information from the beginning. A sleeping person may hear sounds, but hearing is not the same as understanding. Imagine that a radio is playing in another room. You can hear voices, but you are not listening carefully. You may notice the sound, but you do not follow every sentence. During sleep, this problem becomes even greater. Another problem is sleep quality. If the recording is too loud, it may wake you up. Even when you do not wake up completely, the sound may make your sleep lighter. You may move more, wake for a few seconds, or feel tired the next morning. Poor sleep can make learning harder. When you are tired, it is difficult to focus. You may read the same sentence again and again without understanding it. You may forget words quickly. You may also feel less interested in studying. So playing English all night may create the opposite result. Instead of helping you learn, it may reduce the quality of your sleep and make your brain less ready the next day. This does not mean that all quiet sounds are bad. Some people sleep well with soft music, rain sounds, or other gentle background sounds. But an English lesson is different because it contains changing words, changing voices, and different meanings. Your brain may continue to notice these changes even when you are sleeping. Now, we come to the third perspective: how sleep can become part of a good learning plan. The best way to use sleep for learning is not to study during sleep. It is to study before sleep and then allow your brain to rest. A short and calm study period in the evening can be useful. You might review a few words, read a simple page, or listen to a short part of an English podcast. Then you stop and go to bed. You do not need to study for a long time. In fact, studying for hours when you are tired may not be helpful. 15 focused minutes can be better than 1 hour of tired study. The word focused means giving your full attention to one thing. During a focused study period, you are awake and active. You understand the language. You connect ideas and notice how words are used. After that, sleep gives the brain a chance to organize what you learn. The next day, you can return to the same material. This is where real progress often happens. You learn something, sleep, and review it later. Each return makes the memory stronger. This process is simple, but it is extremely powerful. Think about learning as building a small road in your brain. The first time you learn a word, the road is narrow and difficult to follow. When you review the word, the road becomes clearer. When you use the word again, it becomes easier to travel along that road. Sleep can help protect the road, but you still need to build it through practice. Good sleep also helps your mood. When you sleep well, you usually feel calmer and more patient. These feelings are important for language learning. Learning a language takes time. You will forget words. You will make mistakes. Sometimes you will feel that you are not improving. When you are tired, these normal problems can feel much bigger. After good sleep, it is often easier to try again. So, can we learn while we are asleep? We cannot normally learn a complete new language during sleep. A recording cannot do all the work for us. We still need to listen, read, speak, think, and practice while we are awake. However, sleep is not wasted time. It is an important part of the learning process. It helps the brain organize memories, supports attention, and prepares us to learn again. The most useful plan is simple. Learn something small while you are awake. Give it your attention. Sleep well, then return to it another day. You do not need a magical recording. You need regular practice and enough rest. So for day 2 of our challenge, remember this idea. Learning happens during practice, but sleep helps practice stay in the mind. I'm Tom, and this is Sarvar English. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your mind, protect your sleep, and come back tomorrow for day 3.